Hey everybody, John Granato from the bench, mornings on ESPN 97.5 and AJ Hoffman from the Blitz. He's on afternoons on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5 as well. Good news, Jamie Roots met with season ticket holders virtually, and he assured us that Jack Easterby will not be the general manager of this football team. Now, my question is, we heard that was a possibility. I wonder if maybe the media and fan reaction, maybe they're starting to hear some things over there on Kirby and actually starting to use some common sense as opposed to just listening to whatever Jack Easterby thinks and doing it, AJ.
Well, and you would probably know this better than I would. Do you know that Jamie Roots has the power to make that decision? Does Jamie Roots outrank Jack Easterby at this point in that organization?
No, he said this. He said that's not the case. Jack Easterby will tell you I'm not a personnel guy. I don't think Jamie Roots made the decision. I think he's just revealing this situation to us. But I don't think it was Jamie Roots saying, no, I'm not going to let him be.
I think the problem really lies in the fact that Jack Easterby's involved with this organization at all. Whether he's going to be the GM, which it is good news. If he's not going to be the GM, that's obviously a great start. But does it limit the candidates that want to come in here and be the GM for this team if Jack Easterby's in the backdrop just waiting to override whatever decisions you make or put his fingers on things? There's going to be a lot of GM candidates who are like, I'm not interested in that. And we've already talked before in one of these videos, in fact, about the other jobs that will be open for GMs. And if there's what's more appealing for the top candidates, Jack Easterby is going to be it's going to be a tick in the negative box. It's going to go on the con list. So I don't know that him not being the GM necessarily means that he's not going to greatly impact the GM search.
I agree wholeheartedly. Matt Miller wrote a piece on ESPN that it's the worst place to come. I mean, the draft picks, you look at the roster, you look at Jack Easterby, you look at Cal, all of these things are factors. And one agent said no one wants to go there because you only get one shot at GM. And if this is your shot and you've got Jack Easterby in the owner's ear and stabbing you in the back, which is what Jack Easterby has done so far, then I don't want any part of it. So the candidate, you're right, he is greatly affecting this thing. And until we find out, there is a question about Cal. But before we get to that question about Cal, I want to talk about cold, clean, crisp, refreshing Coors Light. It's the world's most refreshing beer. It's so beautiful. It's been so beautiful out. It's been my official beer of playing golf and drinking in the sunshine every day. But that's just me. Your official beer could be the official beer of watching NASCAR. I don't know what your official, or loving the Buffalo Bills. I don't know what your official beer is or what your official of. But make it Coors Light. That's the official beer of whatever you do. Whatever you love to do, make Coors Light your official beer. So NFL.com, AJ, says that Jamie Roots says he's going to be leading the charge for GM, for coach, for the PR person, the most famous PR person ever in sports, Amy Pelsick, her replacement. Question is, Jamie Roots is president of the organization. Presidents of organizations, they do stuff like this. But what about the owner? And Cal, I don't know that you get much more laid back than Cal, but I certainly would like him. I think I would like him to be part of this process, no?
Yeah, and I'd like, Jamie Roots hiring the PR director. That seems like a job for him. Yeah. The football side of things, though, we've said here, he's said himself, he's not a football personnel person. He doesn't, that's not his job. We don't know that we trust Cal to do it. The problem is, really, you invested so much in Bill O'Brien being like the nucleus of the football mind of the Texans. Once he's gone, you leave a lot of people who I just don't, not that I trusted Bill O'Brien, but at least he was a football guy. You left a lot of non-football people in the room to make these decisions on who's going to build the next nucleus.
Listen, no NFL owner is a football guy. They're owners, they're business people, they're money people, they're rich guys. That's what they do. So making these decisions with Jerry Jones, I think he thinks of himself as a football guy. Guess what? He's not very good at it. He has sucked with his hires, and they have sucked as an organization. So Cal I'm of the opinion that Cal is a detriment right now to this organization. And if Cal could sell the team, I would be all for it.
I don't think the McNairs have a way to make money anymore without this football team. Like everything, all the money that was coming into that family before was from Bob Ventures. And now that he's gone, I don't know what Cal would do if he sold the team. I mean, I guess he could just sit around on a pile of money he sells the
with
team
$2 billion. What does he got to do with $2 billion?
Yeah, but I do feel like they would want to keep some kind of regular income, pouring in, and I just don't know where they would get it from. I also don't know if it's the best time to be selling a professional sports franchise. I do think, though, that getting rid of Jack Easterby would be a good start because we would all look at it and go, well, there's no Bill O'Brien who made that decision. It would have to be a Cal call. That's the only guy in the organization, it seems, has the power to move away from Jack Easterby, who basically the entire fan base thinks of as a cancer to the organization. So if he were to do that, it'd probably buy him some good faith. But really, a lot of what people think of him is going to come down to who the GM hire is, who the coach hire is. Because if it's bad, people are going to say, well, that's Jack Easterby influencing Cal. Does Jack Easterby own the friggin' team? And I think the next 6 months will say a lot about what, Cal McNair's start to being the owner, what his tenure so far will really look like. Because if he makes a slam dunk hires, like if he makes a slam dunk GM and coach hire, it's going to be hard to complain about him.
Yeah, it's hard to make a slam dunk GM hire because for the most part, you don't know these guys.
That's true. And whoever the GM is, they're going to be starting in a hole. I mean, this is a bad roster without much capital to build on. So it's a tough spot.
I don't care if it's Jamie Roots or Cal McNair or Jack Easterby. Did I say that? I don't care who it is. Pick the right guy that's going to turn this football thing around and do it quick.